Happy new day. Happy new day. It is a wonderful day to be alive. It is a wonderful space to be in. I greet you with love, joy, peace, and bliss on this amazing day, on this moon day, on this joyous um, moon day that we are here in this time and space, reading out of the Ram of Divination and day number 2, the second pillar. Is Cathorphan, up and down, as above, so below, as within, so without. All are the shell. Everything has a correspondence, connecting one plane of thought to the next. There is really no up and down. Everything moves from the station called the dot. All of the planes of existence are connected and are in correspondence. The macrocosm is found in the microcosm and vice versa. The soul system, society, and life on earth reflects the same thing on the stellar and subatomic level. So this is a wonderful space to be in. I am Oracle Mother Yanis Male Neutral Prime Supreme, 1216 of the Messiah Code Movement in the Walu tribe. That I am a daughter of the Most High. I am. And I greet you that I am truly walking in abundance. I am fulfilling my purpose. I am connected to all. Unconditional love is my guide. There's one truth, one law. I am. I create. I give love. I receive love. I accept love. I am. I am wholeness. I am always acknowledging our team and energy in this sacred space. We acknowledge Mother, Father, Prime Creator, the archangels, guardian angels, spirit guides, ancestors of the higher ram, 24 elders, the ascended masters. We acknowledge you today, the orishas that are assisting us now in this sacred space. Grandma Charlotte, my mother Rosa, Yair, we acknowledge you today in this sacred space. All that are assisting us in this sacred space, all, even you that are here connected. We logged in at 543. We logged in. Synchronicities of numbers, not some synchronicities of numbers. We got the 44, but we also have a 131 today. It's 1013. So it's a 131, which is a Lamel. We're operating within the mainframe consciousness. On this day, we are connected. We are logged in time and space. Let us flow together in this wholeness. In this wholeness. Let us go within. Let's do the community breath. Let's breathe for 3, hold for 3, release for 3. Let us begin. Gratitude. All right, it's a joyous day to be here on this amazing day. Seems like my phone is frozen. It is. So we're operating in this time and space. We're sharing today. What are you willing to let go of? What are you willing to release in this space that you're in? What are you willing to let go on this journey? We're still the female Messiah. You can tell them I've been up most of the night, to tell you the truth. Female Messiah is the daughter, and the daughter is the sword and the veil. So, in this journey, what are you willing to have cut loose from you? Is the question. What are you willing to let go in order for you to move throughout your time and space, or move to your next level in life? What are you willing to give up? Because on this journey, we were attached to so many things. So now, Happy New Day, Lisa. So now in life, begin to look at that, because we're coming from different points of view. In the physical, what are you willing to let go to obtain, you know how they say, to have eternal life? Yeah. What are you willing to let go of to move into your purpose and to understand your purpose? What are you willing to let go? Because in the illusional world, we picked up so many things and we were attached to those things. And so on this journey, what are you willing to let go? Are you willing to let go of? And some of you may not understand that when we hold on to people, that is a form of holding. Your journey is an individual journey, in that you may be having an experience with an individual, but you don't hold on to them. They're here creating a reality as well as you're creating a reality. So what are you willing to let go of? Life, the world paints this picture of the material things, of cars, houses, even your children. What are you willing to let go? What are you willing to sacrifice? Because if we would talk about the matrix, which we will be, and we are, about the matrix, we talk about the red pill and the blue pill. And, one gonna make you forget, and one is you're gonna forget, you're gonna wake up where you were before. And then the purple pill. And the purple pill is, you mix the two colors together and you get purple, which, what are you willing to sacrifice on this journey? Are you willing to, step outside the box? Because this is a space that you have to make the decision yourself. Because on this journey, it's free will. And the universe does not violate your free will. So what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to sacrifice? I mean, sometime on this journey, it takes you getting out away from everybody. I've been there. It takes you, it may take some of us you have to walk away from your family sometime. I mean, family turn their back on you. And what are you willing to do? Are you willing to stay on the path? Are you willing to let go of what your purpose and return back to the things that look like it's really worth having? I mean, I'm just keeping it real, because on this journey, it requires sacrifice. It requires study, steady, to show yourself approved, rightly dividing the word of truth. What are you willing to let go of? What are you willing to give up? It makes you really think about that. What am I willing to give up to fulfill my purpose in life? And we have grandchildren. We have, all our loved ones and things that we're connected to. And you think about that. If we would come from the Helios to Biblos, the Book of the Sun, we could use as an example would be the Ascended Master. I'm just using it as an example, where where God said, I sent my son as a sacrifice. So what are you willing to do? Because you are here on this experience. What are you willing to really let go of on this journey? Is money of great value to you that you would hold on to it and realize that it doesn't hold as much value as you think it does? Is it really that fine Mercedes-Benz car that you drive? Is it really a value for you to hold on to and not walk your path? This makes you think about some of these things that we have, we've had, that we accumulated while we were in the illusional world. That on your journey, it requires you to think about it. Well, it required me to think about those things. What is your value? What holds value in your life to you? what really holds value in your life? What are you willing? Some people smoke. Are you willing to let go? Yeah, of being liked by others. I like that. Being liked by I'm not gonna I'm gonna stay in the group because I like being liked by others. I don't want to be different. I don't want to step outside the box. There are many that want to hold on to the smoking. Are you willing to let go of the smoking? Are you willing to let go of the drinking? Some may be in the place to where they have a problem with drinking and they can't let go of it. Are you willing to step, the change? Are you willing to do that? And then when I say the smoking, and I'm like, some people are hooked to nicotine. Are you willing to let go of that? To be who you really are in life, this divine being that, are you willing to give it up and to accept your purpose? For some, it could be eating habit. Some people like to eat and they may have a problem. For me, mine was potato chips and mine was ginger ale. There were many things, other things, but those are some of the two things that I had one of the most attached to was the chips and the ginger ale. And those were the things I had the most attached to. And that was kind of hard for me to give up, to let go. But I knew that because of my life journey and to make the change to make the shift, those things I had to let go because those things really didn't serve me as well in my life or my body as what my body really needs. And some people might be thinking that's a little thing, but it's not really a little thing because little things are those things really control you. When we think little things are the little things have more power than the big things if you really look at that. A cigarette can be so tiny and has so much power over many people because I deal with a lot of my staff. They smoke. A lot of them smoke and they have to, when break time comes for them to be able to get their break, they rush out of there and this little tiny thing has that much power over them that they have to have the smoke. And I'm not knocking them. I don't judge them for what they do, but I'm just saying, I observe things. I'm an observer. So as an observer, remember, I'm navigating, so I'm an observer. So I'm observing things that in my life that I know that I need to let go or I have to let go of in order for me to make my shift, in order for me to walk this journey, to be wholeness, to be true, to be real, to be authentic. I have to let those things go. And many of us don't want to let things go. We want to be the former life here, before the screen, but off the screen, we want to be something else. And then that, it really interferes with your vibration. And so I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm talking about myself. I know what I had to do. I had to make a change. I had to let go of things in my life for me to be where I am. And it's not an overnight thing. Let me just share with many of you that letting go of things in your life, the change, is not an overnight thing. It's a challenge for many of us. And those that are doing the October Raw Reset, day number 13, it's a challenge. I mean, my system now is going through a change. When I say a change, I have to actually run out of the bed to go to the bathroom because my system is doing this cleansing of stuff that I probably put in it for many years ago, and it's just now, it's regular now, and I'm adjusting to that. I'm grateful that I decided to take part in October Raw Reset. Not that my system wasn't already regular, but it's different and now. So I eat to live, not live to eat. I eat to live. I choose things wisely. So what are you willing to let go of? I'm just putting it out there. Have you ever thought about that on this journey? What am I willing to let go to really be my true who I really am? To really walk my divine purpose? To really, to accept myself in wholeness? What am I really just, I'm going to put it this way. What am I tired of doing? How about that? What are you really tired of doing? Because whatever you are tired of doing It's the things that you're willing to let go of. Some people are tired of, you know, I'm going to use smoking again. Some people are tired of smoking. They just need the extra boost to let go of it. But when you get tired, you were tired of, because when I was tired of doing the things that I was tired of, when I was tired of, the abuse and stuff, I made a change. I made a change. And so when you get tired of doing things, nobody's gonna have to tell you. You're just gonna do it. You're gonna be like, I'm done with this. I'm ready for the change. I'm ready to move to my next thing in life. I'm tired of the old ways of doing things on my life. I'm just tired of that. I'm tired of being around the same people that keep doing the same thing. And every day you go around them, they're doing the same thing. They got the same, they go to the same corner. They have the same drink that they drink. They hold a cigarette the same way. I'm tired of that. In life, many of us experience that it's a cycle, whether you realize it or not. It's a cycle that has been going on in our life, and it's a program that has been running within our system, that we just like, it's been going and going. But until you get off the wheel, it's like the potter and the clay. Until you get off that wheel and realize that, hey, I'm tired of the same thing. I want something new in life. I want to experience something in life. And but everybody has this time in their life that it's an awakening that we all experience in our journey. But we're the one that decide when we had enough is enough. Oh, that's awesome. Lisa put something in about some tea that can help anybody that's dealing with nicotine. I have a lot of people, a lot of staff that really smoke, and when I say smoke, it be in their clothes. I have to send them back outside. Hey, you can't go work with the babies because the smell is in your clothes, and you gotta go change your clothes, spray yourself, do something, because you can't. Because nicotine messes with the babies, their lungs and things. So I'm just saying, it makes you really think about that. What are you really tired of? Are you ready for your change? Are you ready for this shift? Are you ready being tired of being controlled by other things that you allow yourself to be controlled? Because as the master and as the creator of your reality, being the creator of your reality, it's awakening to yourself to know that, hey, I'm creator. It's time for me to step fully and wholeheartedly in what I'm here, my purpose, of what I'm here to do. And not nobody else. It's me. It's time for me to be the master of this journey. It's time for me to be the observer. It's time for me to really understand that I'm the one that operates my system. I control my system, not nobody. It's time for me to spark my system. It's time for me to reboot my system. It's time for my system to reboot itself. It's time for me to get in the information. It's time for me as Messiah to understand that it's me. It's not nobody else. And when we understand that there's nobody else that can control this system, it's us ourselves control our system. It's us ourselves being strong enough to say, this is it. It's either now or never. It's either now I make this move or it's not going to happen. I can't wait for tomorrow, because when tomorrow get here, it's going to be now. So whatever decision I am making, it's now. It's now or never. It's now or never. It's either I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it. Either I'm going to remain in a cycle that has been repeating itself over and over and over. Either I'm going to still be connected to an old timeline and old patterns that generational things that my mom, my aunts and uncles and all of them did. Either I'm going to keep repeating that cycle. Either I'm going to get off that wheel and I'm going to wake up and start creating my own reality. Because I have the power in me to know this. I have the power and I have the willpower to do it. And not only that, I'm going to accept myself for who I am. I'm accepting myself wholeheartedly, and I'm realizing that I have the strength in me to do this. I have the strength in me to rise above those things that I have been programmed to accept about myself. I have that strength in me to rise above that and create that reality. Walk in my reality. Be my reality. Accept my reality. I have that power in me to know that who I am. What are you willing to let go of? What are you willing to give up? Are you willing for change? Are you willing you know, to accept your purpose? That's another one. Are you willing to accept your purpose? Is that Are you willing to accept that? Take responsibility for who you are. Take responsibility for what you have created and where you are now, what you are creating now. Take full responsibility. Are you willing to accept that? Are you willing to move in it? Are you willing to allow yourself to create a whole new world? Are you willing to accept that you are the master? Are you willing to accept that you are the creator? Are you willing? Because it really points out a lot of things in our life. Am I willing? Am I willing that I've been in my mind, I've been allowing others to I've been in a program to where, it's like I've been praying to God, and that, really God is really in me. And I've been praying to this God, this other source on the outside. So I was depending on this thing that I've been praying to on the outside to do this stuff for me. But really, what are you willing to accept? Are you willing to take responsibility to know that you God, creator of your reality, and that everything in life that you experience is from the energy that you are creating, that your thoughts that you are creating, those thoughts that you are experiencing, are you manifesting or what you have created? Are you willing to take responsibility for that? Every choice and things in your life that you make, guess what? You are things that are manifesting in your life, not nobody else. The choices that you make in life, nobody else can get those manifest from that, only you. You can only experience the choices and things that you make in life. As Louise Hayes, I was listening to her meditation early rise, that, everything in my life that I think about, it happens in life. It happens, it manifests in your life. So everything that you're thinking, you're going to experience. It's just how it is. The subconscious mind, that's how it works. Whatever you think, the subconscious mind is delivering that to you. And so in your life, why not think happy thoughts? Why not think positive things? Because your subconscious mind, which is your recorder, is delivering that. It's like you have your own private secretary. I like that. Your subconscious mind is your private secretary, your recorder, that whatever you think, whatever you are thinking, it is delivering, it's taking notes. And so, what are you willing to let go of on your journey? We rise up every day. What are you deciding? Today, I decide that I'm going to walk newness in my purpose. Today, I decide. Some people fast, and let's look at that. Some people fast. On their fast, they decide that, they're going to go without, say, those that drink soda, they may go without soda. Say, I'm gonna fast from soda. So they're willing to give up that, for a whole week. Some people are willing to give up meat. What are you willing to let go of? To be on this journey, to experience the best thing in life that source has for you, to be in the body. What are you willing to let go of? It's different things that we can let go of, but I only know about me, but I'm just sharing. There are many examples. I'm just giving some examples. Some people, like we doing October Raw Reset. Many people are changing their eating habits. They're letting go of, what are they letting go? So they just went raw. So we went raw. We went to the vegetables and fruits. That's it. I think no bread or a grain, anything like that. We're just totally understanding that, returning back to nature, back to the earth. And that's what we're eating from our mother. So this requires sacrifice. This requires discipline. So are you willing to be disciplined yourself, by yourself? Are you willing to deny things that you have attached yourself to, on your journey, that you're willing to let those things go? To have that body, I love that, to have that body that you want, to have clarity in your thinking. And many, that deal with that, I used to drink soda. I talked about the ginger ale. There are other things I used to drink. Before it was ginger ale, I used to drink Coke. I used to drink Pepsi. When I worked in other childcare, when I was teacher, and I used to have a Pepsi every a.m. When I get up, I gotta have a Pepsi. I didn't eat the food, but first thing was going in me was a Pepsi. I'm like, oh yeah, my body was so excited about that Pepsi. Before I would even go in the classroom, I had to have a Pepsi inside of me, and then it shifted. And I realized that, that ain't good for me. My stomach started doing some weird stuff. So I decided to shift from Pepsi. Then I realized that my mom, her thing was ginger ale. So my aunts, all of them loved ginger ale. So that became a thing in our family that, hey, my mom had to have ginger ales beside her bed all the time. And so her thing was ginger ale settled her stomach and she needed to burp. So guess what? Guess who picked that up? Me. I picked that up, that I had to have a ginger ale so that I could burp and that it would settle my stomach. And so I picked it up. I'm like, well, I said, Mom, there's something going on with my stomach. And she said, get a ginger ale. And so I started drinking ginger ale. And, that's how that's how I got hooked to ginger ale by my mom. Just doing what she doing. Get a ginger ale. Don't put it in the refrigerator. Drink it hot so it can just make you purr. Don't that feel good? And I'll be, I would be perfect. So on this journey, it sounds like I'm talking a lot, but the message is what are you willing to let go? How do you value yourself on your journey? How do you value what your purpose, Starseed Lightworkers? How you value yourself? Because this a journey that we are on is something that only we can experience. Nobody else can experience this, only you. You're the only one that can experience where you are in life right now. And that is the change happening in you. This change, that's something that's happening in you, it's only what you can decide to experience. I'm here sharing my journey, my experience. I let go of, and of course, let me just share, I make a powerful banana pudding. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm one of the ones in the family that could make a powerful banana pudding. Now, I could make a cake, but it wasn't the top of the cake like my sister. But my banana pudding was top line of banana pudding. My macaroni and cheese that I could make was top of the line in the family. And then I could make a mean pasta salad. So I say I'm one of the ones, because I would get requests. People request me to make the banana pudding, make the macaroni and cheese, and the pasta salad. Guess what? I pretty much let that go. I can't recall when the last time I really made one. Those are things in my life that with the shift happening within me, I find myself I'm not really in the kitchen as much. So I'm willing to allow myself to put in the time that I need to find me. And I'm just sharing this to find me. I never was lost. Let me interpret that. I'm talking authentically me. And the areas that I dove into that I thought was what was completing me, or what I needed, was not really what was completing me. So spiritually, I'm on this path or this journey, and just say it's like it is really like a fast that I'm on, that I'm finding me in that area, and I'm connecting to all that is me. And so what are you willing to let go of? And that could be, some people party, have like to go out and party and, drink and all that other stuff. I'm not one that done that. I didn't do that part of it. But I've had choices and things that I have done. But I think about that. What am I willing to let go? I'm not just willing to let go one thing. In order for me to be who I am, in order for me to really walk this journey, what am I willing to let go? It's an everyday change. It's an everyday experience. Every day, some people, it could be cursing. Some people like to curse, like to say words that, it's a habit for some people, that their tongue just love the curse. It just flows off their tongue like a professional. I mean, I was, like I shared my story that I worked at a nursing home, and I was in there doing my paperwork, and I would go in the break room where they smoke and stuff. I said, it's the one I never did pick up a cigarette and start smoking, because the room would be so full of smoke. I'm going in there breathing in the secondhand smoke, in there, but they would curse. It was a bunch of curses in there. And so next thing you know, I started saying these words. I'm like, man, I started saying these words. I became a professional curse. I'm being serious. Every word that I was saying was a cuss word. Then I began to hear myself, and I heard my voice say, that ain't even you. And I heard myself saying those words. It's like, be this and F this and, all that stuff. And I'm like, man, when did I start doing that? Then I realized that I had picked it up being in the break room. Then I realized that ain't me. That doesn't define me. So I let it go. I let that go. I can't speak for nobody else. I was willing to let that go because it didn't define me who I am. I'm light, and I only want those things that light me up for others to see that light. That's all I want to be. I don't want to be all those other things. I don't want to be a cheater. I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to be any of those things. I just want to be source energy. That's what I am. That's all I want to connect with what I truly am. I'm willing to make the change. I'm willing to. Some people are attached to people that are abusive relationship. Are you willing to give it up? Are you willing to walk away? Are you willing to step outside of that and just turn, well, you don't know what, we've been together umpteen years, but yet you still getting your head knocked off. And you've been together umpteen years. I've experienced that. I tried staying there. I tried staying in a relationship because of my children. Then I realized that, what, this ain't gonna work for me. This ain't gonna happen. This ain't gonna work. I got the children, this ain't gonna work. It's either I'm not gonna make it or either I'm gonna have to get out of here. And I realized that I had enough. I had got tired of my head being knocked upside the head, being knocked down on the floor, feet put on me, not even being able to get a pregnant, I'm pregnant. I realized that once I get up out of here, once I get up, I made that decision in my mind that was it. That when he takes his foot off of my belly and I get up out this floor and he leave out of here, I'm out of here. And so I was willing to be like, hey, I want to live. There's things that we have to choose in our life. It's presented to you to choose because we have free will. That in order to have eternal life, we have to choose to have it. We have to be willing to, accept ourselves for who we are. And accepting ourselves for who we are, it brings about the change in your life. I'm only speaking to some examples. There are many examples that many of us face. And if we let's talk about the female Messiah, because the female Messiah is a part of what helps us in our journey. So the female Messiah, I'm going to just start off with the mother, the pen and the paper. I spent many times just writing. I wrote about things in my life that I was experiencing when I was going through the abuse. And I wrote about, I wrote a lot of poems of like, why me, God? Do you love me? Different things like that where I was. And so I wrote that she controls the pen and the paper as the mother writes the laws. In other words, the blueprint on our heart. She is the head. And that is that divine mother, divine mother, divine energy. That's the Mother Earth, Mother Universe. She writes the laws on our heart because there's the macro and the micro. The laws are on our heart. Then we got the daughter. So when we look at the daughter, so the mother has written all that, all things that we need to know, which was passed down from the ancestors to her. She have written them on our heart. So she passed them down to her daughter, which is the sword and the veil. So in defense, the sword and the veil is the daughter, because the daughter is defense. She's there. She's the protector. So and when we awake to know that we are protected, that we operate in the daughter energy, we operate in the mother energy, we operate in the daughter energy. And the daughter energy is that the sword and the veil, that, the veil or the scales are no longer on your eyes, that you have the power in you to rise up. You have the power to stand within your position, being able to move out of those experiences that no longer serve you. You have this weapon, the sword, which is the word of God, the word to speak in the midst of the storm. Say, peace be still. You have that power. Many of us don't really realize that we have that power, and we just been like, we just been going with the flow. But the daughter comes on the scene to let you know that you got strength, you got power, and guess what? You see beyond what the illusion of the world has been painting before you. You see beyond that. Now we move into the sister. Now the sister, which is the broken column. I've been cracked, and many are hooked to crack. And then there's crack in the column, and crack that many are addicted to crack, and they want to get off. They need help, and they don't know where to go. But guess what? Today is the day, the best day of your life. This is a day of change, that we are all connected in wholeness. Let you know that there's strength when there's the will, the free will. When the will is right, when the will has the will, guess what? When the will has the will and the will wants the will to move and it will move. When you really want the change to happen in your life, the will shows up and the will is in position to help you. But when you just want to continue to hold on to the crack, you know, I'm just talking about what are you willing to let go? What are you willing to do? Because that's crack. That's just one form of. There are many things in our life. There's prostitution, many on the corner. There are many things. I'm just crack came in my head because I'm talking about the sister. When we talk about we've been abused, we've been broken, we've been thrown out. We've been talked about many labeled by many labels and many of the many we've been called everything but what we are. How about that? The divine feminine energy, she's been called everything but who she is. She's been called everything but a goddess. You know, other than Mother Earth, she's been called all that. She's been called bees and all that other stuff. And then even they got it to where down degrade her in the song, and the female dog. We don't even know that when you call her a bee, you're talking about a female dog. So basically, you call her a dog. Everything, she jamming to the music that they done down called her a dog, and she like, ooh yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. And she don't realize that she just down degrading her own self. But so we are the repairer. So when you get off that, my guys are saying, when you get off of that tune, when you get off of that tune and wake up and realize that the song that you've been moving to is a song to pull you down and keep you down instead of raise you up as goddess, as God, as the Messiah. And so in your life journey, when you wake up, see, you start seeing these things. When you're willing to let go of things, it means you're willing to let go of the old program. And when you're willing to let go of the old program, guess what? The scales is off your eyes. Now you start seeing how you were being not looked at as goddess, because that's who you are. Not as looked at as God. When you decide that I'm willing to let go of the old program, that's when them scales fall off your eyes, and then you really be able to see. You really see the illusional world the way they have painted a picture of you in a negative form. And then you start seeing yourself as God, as who you are. And so what are you willing to let go? Are you willing to hold on to Isaac brothers? I'm just throwing that out there. But really, in this walk of life and seeing yourself, that because we've been hooked to so many things, and that form of, I want to be everything else but me. I want to change this. My story is the bonded woman. We can make it better. We have the technology. We can make it better. But we can be everything except for the Purple Heart Squad. We want to be everything else except for the Purple Heart Squad. And the Purple Heart Squad is that we are the savior. Willing to understand that we're here navigating through this network. And here's resetting things within the network ourselves. And so we so excited about embracing, oh, he loved me and she loved me and all this other stuff. But who are you? Who are you in the body as the Messiah? Where do you fit in the body? We can see the body here. Where are you in the body? What part are you? Which position do you hold in the body? And then what position you hold? Do you know what position you hold? And what is your purpose? What are you here to do in the body? What are you willing to let go? Are you willing to, I keep hearing, what are you willing to put in? Are you willing to study? Are you willing to find and go within yourself? I'm not talking about books that everybody else written. Just get this straight. I'm not talking about what everybody else wrote. I'm not talking about what everybody else do. Are you willing to study yourself? Are you willing to go in, pray, seek guidance yourself? Are you willing to hear from the ancestors yourself? I'm not talking about what books and what teaching that everybody else do. I'm talking about yourself on your path. Are you willing to hear your voice? Oh, I love that. Are you willing to hear your voice? Are you willing to hear Source speak to you? Because Source and you are wholeness. So are you willing to hear Source talk to you on this journey? Are you willing to set yourself aside? Are you willing to go out there in nature, hug a tree, and connect to the answer? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to turn off the TV, the days of our life, all my children, as the world turns, Housewives of Atlanta? Are you willing to let go of that and to connect to you? because you are everything that is. You are wholeness. You are everything that is. You're greater than the tell a lie, a housewives of Atlanta, and all them other ones. Are you willing to let go? What is the love of basketball? The basketball wives of basketball, whatever. You're greater than that. Are you willing to let go of that? Change. It requires all of that. Are you willing to do that? Because I can only make the change for me. I can only walk in. I can only examine myself. I can examine. That's why I can get on here on the podcast and talk, because I can only examine me. I can only examine me. I can only talk about Oracle. I can only talk about Yanis. I can only talk about me, the change that I'm making in life. It's not an overnight change. It's an everyday change. Don't you know the mind is where the battle is really happening within there? The battle is in the mind. That's where the battle is. You overriding all those negative thoughts. Don't you know the universe is mental, which is made up of all thoughts? And you are the universe, the macro and the micro, the large and small universe, and you connected it vibration, connected to each other. So the mind is where the battle is. So what are you willing to let go? What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to be the sacrifice? It's the question. Are you willing to be the sacrifice? It's once again, I keep hearing that it's not easy, but it can be done, and it is done, because those that came before you are doing it and still doing it, and you are the ancestors of now. So you're walking in this now. So that's where I am on that. I'm willing to do whatever it takes for me, because I'm creating my reality. I'm willing to do what it takes for me to be who I am. I'm willing to walk, to do. I'm willing to do that. If that means nights that you don't go to sleep, to study or whatever, I'm willing to do that. Are you? Or you just want to continue to murmur and complain? There are many just love to murmur and complain because they love to hear their voice. How about that? They love to hear their voice. That's why they murmur and complain. They love to say, I don't have this, I need this, or I don't have this. Masters don't do that. Masters always know that they always have. And when they don't see it in their purse or in their bank account, they already know that they're going through the season of change, because what is already there, when they need nothing, they have everything. So they don't allow the illusional world to hook them up under the spell to say, okay, if it's you see it in the bank, oh, you got it. No, it's beyond it. Next level. That's next level vibration. That's next level consciousness of knowing that everything is already yours. That you operate through this reality already knowing that everything is yours. That's next level teaching. Oh, I love that. That's a next level process on your journey, when you know everything is already yours, and that you're moving throughout them time through this mainframe, knowing that you reset the system. Are you resetting your system? Are you rebooting your system of knowing? Are you sparking your system with the wisdom and knowledge of knowing that everything was designed at the beginning? And when it's the beginning, it's always existed. You've always existed. You in this form now, in this reality. So what are you willing to do to move to the next level? Because you did tell the coach to put you in the game, and so the coach put you in the game. You got the basketball. So what do you decide? Are you going to hold the ball? Are you going to shoot the ball? Are you going to make the play? Are you just going to hold the ball? Because you already got the blueprint in you. Are you going to control the ball, shoot the ball, make the play? Are you just gonna stand on the side like, no, I'm not ready, coach? But you came here ready. You came here ready. Even though you was, uploaded with all that low vibration stuff, you came here ready. So you got the ball. So every day you control the ball. Hey, every day you're sparking your system. Every day you're rebooting your system. Every day you're meeting at the round table. Every day you're logging in every day in time and space. You're logging in captain's log. You are every day. You're navigating your ship. Because my ship is 1216. That's my ship. Yani's ship. 1216. Your log date, that's your ship. Whatever your name is in your log date, which you consider your birth date is your ship number. They gave me that earlier. So my ship, is Yani's 1216. That's my ship. And I'm navigating it. This is my ship. So, gratitude. So, on your life journey, realizing that, hey, I live to live, and I live to live greater every day. I live to walk in those greater things in life. And where you limit yourself is the limit. You limit yourself of what you consider as your greater things in life. So, peace be still. Yes. The security of my full-time job. Yeah. Willing to let you, and you're willing to let go of that. Yeah, because we're willing to trust in ourselves. And that's what the system have programmed us that, it's like you believe that you got to have that job to be able to provide for yourself. When source within it, we are creative beings. We are creative and creator beings, that we have the ability and the gifts and talents to create those things that bring in greater resources, a greater abundance than what that 9-to-5 job has hooked us to, because that's a program. I got to go to work. I got to have this. I got to have that. I need to have that job because I got to have insurance for the children. I need to have this, and that's a program. I'm not saying that we don't need to have all those other things. This is what I'm saying is that if those things that you're choosing to do, yes, but it shouldn't be something that's have you locked in, that where it holds you from being the creative being, and you got all these gifts and talents. You're gifted in, I'm gonna use Pia for example. You're gifted in with making oils. You're gifted in making soaps. You're gifted in making many other different things that she make, but does she have the time to do that? And that's one of her passions of her heart, that those things that she loved to do. But when she's logged in, hooked into the 9-to-5 job, it's like it's not enough time in 24 hours for her to get all of it done. But her passion is to do that. Her passion is to work with Tuvalu. But then she have all these other things that she has to do. And that's many of us that, the system program that you're so locked into all these other things that you can't even do the things that you're here to do, because your mind is locked into the illusional thing. What are you willing to let go? Are you willing really to trust yourself? Are you willing to trust yourself? I had to do that. I had to do that with the shift happening for me with that other daycare. I may not understood at the same time why it was happening, but I asked God. I said, God, I want to own my own child development center. I want to be my own director. I want to make my own money. That's what I said. And I said that a while ago. And then all of a sudden, when the change happened, it wasn't a peaceful change. Let me just tell you, it wasn't a peaceful change. It was where a girl disrespected me. My daughter wasn't there, but it was a good thing she wasn't there, because it would have been fighting and stuff. But it happened. And when it happened, I'm there, me, the peacekeeper, and I'm saying to myself, what in the world is going on? What is this happening? I didn't understand it. It was what I uttered out of my mouth. And when I uttered out of my mouth, it took like maybe years. And then all of a sudden when it happened, when the change came to happen, I'm sitting there, I'm full of tears, like, what did I do? Why is this girl disrespecting me? What did I do to this young girl that's supposed to be a holy girl, church girl, singing the choir and stuff? What did I do to her? This is my daddy daycare and all this old foolish stuff. And I'm like, my goodness. But you know what? How the universe works, the universe had my daughter to be where she was. The universe had everybody else where they needed to be. Because if my daughter had been at that daycare when that young lady was disrespecting me out of her mouth, it wouldn't have been a pretty picture. And I'm glad that she wasn't there. She came back after everything was over. And I just kind of I didn't even tell her what happened. Other people were telling her what happened. The next thing you know, parents started coming and taking their children out of that center. And then I'm praying. I'm like, okay, God, what do you want me to do? I'm praying. And then I told my daughter, I said, I think my time is up here. I think this is I'm not supposed to be here no more. This is what I uttered to her. And I told her, I said, I think my time is up. Next thing you know, my daughter, what she did was she went in my office and she grabbed all my stuff out of my office. She pulled my car around there. She started loading up all my stuff out of there. And I wasn't even thinking about how I was going to pay my rent, how I was going to pay my water, how I was going to pay my gas. I didn't think about any of that. I just know my time was up and I felt it. And then when the owner of the building came, I just told him, I say, you know what? I said, he's a pastor. And I said, Pastor, I think it's best that I leave here because you don't know my family. That's exactly what I said. I said, you don't know my family. And they crazy about me. And for you to keep your business in it, for your business to stay in a good place, it would be best that I leave here. And I feel that my time is up. And he was saying, yeah, I'm not worried about that. He was talking smart mouth out of his mouth. And I said, well, it's good. I thank you for the time that I've had here. And, I'm going now. And so I left there and I just prayed and I said, God, well, what's next? I went to my house. I didn't have no job. Only money I had was the money that I had saved in my, in my account. That's all I had. I didn't have anything other than that. I was like, I don't want to go work for nobody else. That's what I was saying. I don't want to go work for nobody else. Then I turned. The next thing you know, I turned. Well, actually, I started getting phone calls. Where are you at? I don't want nobody else to teach my children. I want y'all to teach my children. Then I turned my living room. I had a large living room. So what I did was I turned the large living room in my house into a in-home daycare. And I did that for a while. And then I was driving down the street. I'm kind of go fast. I was driving down the street and I found a building. And the building was empty. I pass this street all the time. I never looked at this building. All of a sudden, my car stopped. So my car stopped, and I heard this voice said, what I want you to do is take this paper, and I want you to write on the paper and put, I'm interested in this building, my name and my number, and I want you to stick it in the door. That's exactly what I did. So I did that within 2 days. Within 2 days, I received a phone call. And the lady that called me, and she says, I found this paper in my door, and there's somebody interested in my building. And I said, yes, ma'am. And I began to she said, tell me something about this. So I began to tell her about myself. And so when I told her about myself, and it's like she already knew me, and she did know me because I went to Central Piedmont Community College. From her voice, I didn't know she was a professor at the college that I went to. And and I started telling her, and then I said, my daughter's a graduate from Johnson Smith, AKA. And she said, y'all come up here right now. So we end up going up there to the building. They say, I'm in the building. This is the very building that I'm in. I want you to understand how when you are in alignment, when you're willing to let go, when you've had enough, of being mistreated, when you've had enough of knowing that you are valuable, that you deserve more, when you feel that you deserve more than being working to make somebody else whatever, and that may not be the case, but when you realize that you are far greater and that the gift that God has in you deserve for others deserve to have that gift from you, what you here to give, they deserve to have that from you. They deserve to receive what you're creating. And so when we went up there and she saw me and she said to me, she said, I know you. And I'm like, you do? Because it had been a while since I had been to that college. And she said, yes, ma'am, I know you. She says, I used to see you walk on the campus. And I'm like, wow. She said, I used to see you walk on the campus. You always had a smile on your face. And I was like, wow, okay. But I'm not remembering this lady, y'all. I'm not remembering, but she knows because the college is huge. And she says, yeah, I used to see you. You just be walking to your class with a big smile on your face. And then she said a week before, a man came here to this building. And he said that this building is getting ready to be opened back up to a full-time child development center. And she said the man had his shoes off. He prayed with his shoes off. And he said that the woman that come in here, the woman that don't wear her shoes, she prayed with her shoes off. And that was me, y'all. That was me. And I'm like, really? She said, yes. And then she said, the one thing I'm just going to tell you that I don't have any money to repair this building. She said, I don't have money to fix anything in this building. And, she showed me and my daughter the whole building. And then after she showed us the building, guess what she did? She put the keys in my hand. I didn't give her any money. She didn't ask me for any money. She said, go and live your dream. That's exactly what she said. So I gave her, I just thanked her. And I just want you to see, when you're willing to let go, to walk in your purpose, don't you know that everything that you need is already there? Everything in your life that you need is already there for you to help fulfill your dream in life. It's only when you don't trust yourself, it's not there. It's only when you want to stay connected to an old program, an old timeline, that you can't move, or that you know, or that you don't have that faith in yourself to know that God is within you, that God and source is you, as creator of this whole entire world. Nothing exists. Nothing's greater than you and God. Nothing's greater than God and you. God is in control of everything in your life, which means that you are in control of your own reality, that you are in control of your system. You program that system the way you want it to function. It's just like you're programming a robot. You know what? You know what a robot does? You know, they have kids have these toy robots and they can program it to do this, or they can program to do that. You can too, because you are source energy and the power is already within you. So you're not a victim of your circumstances. Some things happen in our life to push us, to move, get us to move into what we've been asking God for, or what we've been asking Source to do. When some things happen, and you don't look at it as something negative. These things happen to push you where you need to be, push you where you've been asking for a change. And then, you know, if these some of these things, if they didn't happen, you still would be where you are. You still would be hooked in that old place where you were if this didn't happen. If they didn't let you go, you still would be still being over there murmuring, complaining about it. If they didn't let you go, you saying, you know what, I'm going to do this, but you don't have the strength to get up and move. If the universe didn't move on things to happen in your life, you still would be back there. I'm just keeping it real. What are you willing to let go? What are you willing to do for you to walk in your purpose, for your dream to come forth and through you? What are you willing, you know, to be this business owner, this entrepreneur? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to put in the time? Are you willing to do this instead of watching everybody else make their own, create their own reality? What are you willing to do? Because their reality is not your reality. Just know that. What else we got on here? Yes, peace be still. I see that. We got the security. You know, when you step outside of the old belief system, you know that everything works out. And I'm just sharing with you. Everything in my life works for me. There are challenges and things, of course. I'm still in this world. I'm still in this body, you know? And we face challenges every day. But what do you do with them when you face them? Do you waddle in them? You murmur and complain in them, and just like, you know, hey, you get mad at everybody else because you blame them for the challenge in your life. No, you're creating this. You're creating this world. So I just wanted to share that today in my reading. I'm drinking a lot of water because my system is really doing some stuff. It's doing some stuff on so I'm grateful. I'm not complaining about it because I feel my body just releasing a lot of, I believe I lost about 10 pounds overnight myself in this bed. Anyway, I thank all of you for connecting with me today. I pray that you are willing to go within your own self to see your own reflection, you know, your own reflection, looking in the mirror at your own self and seeing that you're not allowing nobody else to hold you back. There are many that allow other people programs to hold them back. Don't let nobody else life journey hold you back, because, you know, and I'm going to use this for example, and a good example would be, say you have a mate and the mate becomes ill, and but you had a dream of doing something, but you couldn't do this because the mate became ill. So you spent all your life taking care of the mate, and your dreams you never fulfilled your dream. What are you willing to do? Are you willing to allow God? Because you have to understand, you know, they say, unto death do you part. But you have to understand, even in that, that person that's going through what they're going through is creating their reality. You have to create your reality. Or you can, you know, the gift of God are without repentance. Is that, you know, oh, she was a great woman, that she took care of her husband and stuff. You know, I'm just keeping it real with you. Life experience. There are things in life that have been made available for when situations come like that in life. I pray that we never have to face that. But there are ways that to go around that so that your dreams can come forth, that you can walk your purpose. I'm not talking about abandon anybody. I didn't abandon my mom. I didn't. Let me just tell y'all this story. I left my job. When my mom got sick, I left my job. I left my job. I moved my mom in my house. I took care of my mom. I took care of my mom until she exited out of here. You understand that? I just want you to know that. I took care of my mom until she transitioned out of here. She moved into my house, slept in my bed. I did everything as a daughter. That's what I did. She transitioned right in my room. She made her exit right out in my room. I was right there singing her a song. My niece was reading scripture. She made us three sounds out of her, like three sounds, like her spirit just went up out of there. Up. I was right there because that's what she wanted me to do. She told me she didn't want to leave here in the hospital. That's what she told me. She said, I don't want to leave here in the hospital. And I said, okay, you want to go to the house? She said, yes. And they took her from the hospital to my house because they said she was getting ready to die instantly, that she wasn't going to make it. As soon as my mom got to the house, I asked the paramedic, I said, is she still breathing? They said, yeah, she patting her feet. We get her in the house. My mama lived 8 days after that. It was enough time for everybody to come to my house and see her. And the ones that whatever they might have had some disagreement with her, they was in there and asking her to forgive them. I didn't even know that was the way of the Jewish people. I didn't even know that. But that's what I was doing. I didn't know it. I was that door. And that time I had already had the surgery on my leg, but my leg got so big and they was trying to get me to sit down, but I couldn't sit. I wouldn't sit down because I was too busy being near my mom. I was the one that was making sure the oxygen machine and, giving her the pain medicine and stuff. That was my responsibility. And but 8 days, she lived for 8 days after that, coming out of the hospital. So she made her exit on January 1/6, and I was there. But it wasn't in my mind, wasn't in my head that my mom was leaving here, that I was not going to see her in the physical body anymore. That didn't even click in my head. I just was doing what a daughter was supposed to do, looking after her mom, changing her, loving on her. Everybody coming in. It was just so many people in the house. We singing old hymns because she was on the hymn choir. We're singing old hymns and she just patting her feet. She patting, they tell you that the last thing that leave is their hearing. And so she was patting her feet and everybody's singing, she's patting her feet. Then I think many of the people had started leaving. Then it was just a couple of us there. It was the great grands and stuff. And I'm in the room and I'm like, they're reading, I'm singing. It's this beautiful song. I don't even know the song to this day. The song came to me and I started singing in my mom's ear. I don't even know what the song was, but it was a beautiful tune. And so I was singing in her ear and she was so calm. And I was saying, it's okay, Mom. It's okay. You can go ahead and go. And I was singing. It was like an angelic tune. And I was singing it to her. Then all of a sudden she made that sound. And I did this, my hand like this to my niece. Stop reading. Stop reading. And then she did it again. And then she did it one more time. And that was it. And, I worked in the medical field. So, I kind of I've been around people that when they're getting ready to leave out of here, But this was a different experience. And I don't know why I'm sharing this with you, but I'm sharing it with you. That whatever you need and where you need to be in life, you will be there. And so as my mom was leaving out, she transitioned out, and it was a peaceful experience that many got to experience. It was one that many people said they ain't never experienced anything like that. But my family owned a funeral home company. And so when my mom, it was named after my mom, Rosadale Funeral Parlor, and WL Funeral, Rosadale Funeral Parlor, and WL, the other part, anyway, funeral service. And so when my nephew came to get my mom's body, and it clicked in me. It didn't click into me that mom was going until he put her on the stretcher and covered her up. And then there was a sound that really came down from out of my belly. And it was like, it clicked in me that my mom was leaving and that I wasn't going to have her in the physical anymore. And I just kind of like laid on the thing, and this was holding, and they just like get her, because I was just the whole time I'm looking after everybody. I'm doing things. I'm watching mom. I'm making sure she's breathing. But I'm just sharing this story with you to let you know that where you need to be on your path and what you need to be, that comes to you in your life, that you have to have that experience, that the way will be made for that to be there, whatever's needed in that time. So what are you willing to do? I'm just sharing. But nothing kept me from doing the whole time I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I was still walking in my purpose. I was still walking in my purpose the whole time, looking after my mom the whole time. And I wasn't there for Rabbi, not for her to leave out, but I was there with taking her water and stuff. And then I was to where I knew she was getting ready to go, because we were away for a while, and then we started talking again. And then I was like, Mom, I'm bringing you your water, because she liked the salsa water. So I started bringing her water. I was bringing her fruits and stuff. And then she said, the last time when I went over there, she says, D, she said, Father said, no need to bring no more water because I won't need it. And that's exactly what she said. And then I don't know, was the next day, but I got a phone call, and it was like from her son, and it said that mom gone. I'm like, Mom, where's mom gone? Where's she gone to? I'm like, where'd she go to? And he said, D, mom died. And I'm like, what? He said, Mom died. She slept away on her couch. She slept away on her couch in her house. Mom slept away in the bed. My other mom slept away on the couch. She's a praying woman. Both of them was praying women. They slept away. Natural causes. So I don't know why I'm sharing this, but I just felt that I needed to share this. So what are you willing to do in life? Are you willing to step outside that box and walk and fulfill your purpose in life? So that's where I am. I'm not attached to anything, y'all. I have a child development center, and I tell you this, if the change comes for me to move, I just have to go. I don't want to be attached to nothing. I just want to walk and do Father's purpose, walk in my will. I just want to do that. That's what I love doing. That's what I love doing. I love being of service. I love giving love. That's what I love doing. That's why you don't see me arguing with people. I love giving love. Love, because that's all I am, So I'm Oracle Mother Yanis Lamel Nutri Prime Supreme 1216 of the Messiah Code Movement in the Walu Tribe. It has been an amazing space to be with you, to talk to you about what are you willing to do, or what are you willing to let go, and to share with you about October Raw Reset Day number 13. I'm willing to be the change. I'm willing to be the change. I am. I'm willing to be the change for myself, because within me is my world. So if the change is in me, my world changes too. So I pray that this has been a joyous podcast for many of you that connect with me. And I don't take that for granted. Every day I live it to the fullest, because you never know. Tomorrow's not promised to anybody. We live today. So live it to the fullest. Put in the work today. Kind word. Give a kind word today. Give somebody a hug today. Be the change today. I'm serious. And a couple announcements. Remember Karen's Kitchen 1221. We're still asking for volunteers. If you want to be a volunteer, please reach out to us. We're getting closer. Children's Vacation coming up in January. 90-day water fast coming up in February to May. Don't forget to check out our website. Also, don't forget to check out, I'm going to laugh at something Dee said to me. Don't forget to check out the website, and don't forget to check out our Facebook page. And you're already checking out my Facebook page because I see a lot of people checking me out. Don't forget to check me out on YouTube. I have 2 YouTube channels, y'all. And I have one YouTube channel. I think one YouTube channel is Janice. The other one is a great day to be alive. So check out both channels because one channel is when I first started my journey, and it has all my old teachings on it. So you can check that one out. Subscribe to that channel too, and subscribe to Messiah Code because a lot of my lives are on my podcasts are on Messiah Code. So subscribe to that channel. What else? What's that? Um, Empower Ministry, Blanket Ministry, and there's so many great things that's going on. Walu's 501c3e, 3EC, 501c, a nonprofit corporation. Just reach out. Be a part of the dream, be a part of the vision, because anything that I am attached to, that means it's flourishing. It means it's blossoming. It means that the spark has sparked and that it is happening. Not it will, but it is happening. So, I would love for you to be a part of that and fulfill your dream in that. That may be the work. Being a part of the Walu may be what you're here to do. That may be a part of your what you're willing to do. That may be it. I don't know, but I'm just saying we'd love to have you, and don't let nothing hold you back. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna share this. A lot of people have attitudes with other people. Don't let the attitude that you have with people keep you from doing your purpose while you're here. Don't let other people's attitudes keep you from walking in your purpose. I'm serious. Because don't let nobody else get you off your path. Don't let nobody get you off your path. Stay on your path. Fulfill your path. Walk. Fulfill your dream. Be the change. Be it. That's a saying. What else? Anything else? I think that's it. I think that's what. I think that's it. And I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you so much. October Raw Reset as well. Don't forget. It's up to you. We love you. I love you. Everybody love you. Well, I can speak for me. I love you. Be with, follow your heart. That's it. Follow your heart. Don't let nobody convict you into nothing that you do. Just be free. That's all I have to say on that, because love is great and it gets greater and greater and greater. Some breaking news about something. So I don't see anything else. I want to shout everybody out. Those that are on the YouTube, I'm going to shout you out too. Lisa, love you. Dee Dee, love you. Thea, love you. And El Christina, I love you. El Christina, I love you. And don't forget to check out everybody's channel. What we have tomorrow, Tea with T comes on tomorrow. So you can check her out, 29 and 10. And then you have the Purple Heart Squad, episode number 2, come on Thursday. And then Friday, you have El Christina on Friday. And of course, me, Early Rise. So things are getting greater. Let me announce about my daycare. Culture Giving Development Center. We here located here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and still say it's a pool for all that don't croak over his own pond. That's what I say. So the Culture Giving Development Center here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Check us out on our Facebook page. And if you know anybody here in Charlotte, North Carolina that's looking for a child development center, send them our way. We are Afrocentric Child Development Center. We teach children about themselves to know, we are conscious development center. That's what I would say, because we are. Because you see the children saying "coon," and then we make up all these songs, ancestor songs. We beat the drum and all this stuff, around there. So if you know anybody that's locating to Charlotte that's looking for a child development center, have them check us out. But also check out Instagram. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, and we have TikTok. Yeah. But check us out. And that's what I want to say. We are all the way live. We're going live on them. We're going live on them. We're going live, live, live. That's what my babies say. So, Coon, have an amazing day. Life is amazing. It happens for you, through you, not to you. Everything is always working out for me. I give love, I receive love, I accept love. I am walking in abundance, fulfilling my purpose. I am connected to all. Unconditional love is my guide. There's one truth, one law. I create. I'm a soul in a human body having a divine human experience here in the heart on planet Earth. Whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Have an amazing day. Shalom.